let's move forward here to the ACC, or at least half the ACC here. I guess Notre Dame's like a glorified ACC team. They play a bunch of games against the ACC now. So, all right. Anyway, prime time on NBC, 7 p.m. Number 4 Clemson, minus 3.5 on the road at Notre Dame, total of 47.5. Brett, the movement here has been interesting because I think this opened at 3, got up to 5, and then we're coming back the other way here. So early money Clemson, now buyback on Notre Dame. What do you think about that? What do you think about the actual on-field handicap here?
I think the movement toward Notre Dame last week with higher limits is a lot more interesting. Just to keep that in mind, especially if this number hits 3 again. If it hits 3 again, oh boy. It's not often that you see a top 5 team this short of a favorite versus an unranked team. The last time we saw it last year, number 3 Michigan State lost to Purdue outright. And I know Purdue was the giant killer last year, but Notre Dame's been a much improved team. I mean, they went into the JMA Wireless Dome and kicked the teeth in of Syracuse. And the JMA Wireless Dome, like we said, is a place you don't walk in there and beat the crap out of them. But they did. They're just a way better improved team. Notre Dame's also way better on the road than at home, so that's a little bit concerning. Kind of weird. Like, they lost to Stanford outright at home. They lost to Marshall outright at home, but they played Ohio State tough on the road. They beat the crap out of Syracuse on the road. Just a weird team. The aggregate power ratings like Clemson by 4.1 points. That discrepancy is not exciting enough for me to bet Clemson. But if it does get down to 3, I will bet Clemson because I think Clemson is the better team. Notre Dame doesn't play very well at home. I can't trust Notre Dame or their quarterback or their defense or any of it. I don't trust Tommy Rees. I don't even trust Marcus Freeman right now. So I think if it hits Clemson minus 3, I am going to fire on that. Maybe we'll get that to kickoff. I kind of don't think so. I kind of think this 3.5 points is maybe the low watermark. And dear God, do not take common opponents and compare the two teams. Don't do it. Don't look at how Clemson fared against Syracuse and how Notre Dame fared against Syracuse because they're two different teams with two different game plans, two different situations, all of that. I think that's actually partly responsible for the movement on Notre Dame. I think they looked at a common opponent and said, well, Notre Dame kicked the crap out of Syracuse and Syracuse probably should have beaten Clemson. Don't do that, please. That is a losing strategy. So again, if it hits minus 3, I'll probably take Clemson. Don't love it at 3.5. Just watch this one. I think Clemson's a better team. Notre Dame plays poorly at home.
3 games ago, Notre Dame lost to Stanford and only scored 14 points. They beat UNLV, who cares? And they go into Syracuse, and the box score looks great. Syracuse lost their starting quarterback in the middle of that game. So how much credit do you really want to give Notre Dame for that one when Syracuse played more than half the game without their starting quarterback? So,
well, their starting quarterback threw a pick 6 on the first play.
That's true. That also,
and
but that's also
it.
fortunate. That's an also fortunate break for Notre Dame that is tough to handicap any given week. So, and for the most part, Schrader's been good for Syracuse. So yes. I'm just saying, I think Notre Dame's getting a little too much credit here based on, they've clearly improved, but this is a big step up in class here now to play Clemson. I know it's a road game, but I think 3.5 would be a buy point here for me for Clemson. Now that it's come back down to that, I know that's against market here, but I'm not believing in Notre Dame yet at this point.
Yeah, if you've bet against the market in the past few weeks, you've actually done pretty well. Because I've always worried about betting against the market, especially when it's a small part of the handle moving the line away. You would have done pretty well, especially last night. If you bet against the market last night, oh man, you hit on everything. Last note on this game, Clemson's a better team. Last note on this, I just can't wait for the committee to use Notre Dame as a good win in Clemson's resume later.
Subtle jab. I like it.